everyone. Hello. Welcome to my craft room. I didn't get to go live Friday, so I'm trying to make up for lost time today. We're going to paint something really simple today. So say hello when you come in. I am Pam Savage, owner of Young at Heart Creations. I love to paint, but I love more to teach you to paint, or just to teach you what I know. I learned so much from you guys, so it's a kind of a two-way street. I learn from you, you learn from me, we put it all together and we make magic happen. So that's what I like to do in here. So today what we're going to be painting is, this was given to me by my friend Connie Turner. And she's been doing what I've been doing. She's been doing some spring cleaning out some things. And so she brought this over in a box for me. So it's just a pencil, but it's more than a pencil that you would set on like a teacher's desk or whatever in your craft room. You could also put paintbrushes in it. If you wanted to paint it like a paintbrush, you could. But you could set a few paintbrushes in it, but it also holds pencils for like on a teacher's desk, pencils and pens. I don't think I have a pen in here. Well, I do. I have a paintbrush pen. So you could even put that in there. So lots of different things. So this, I don't know how long she's had it. It looks like maybe a while because it's kind of faded out. And so we're just going to give it a little makeover. That's what we're going to be working on today. And I've got some dates to remind you of and a lot of different things like that. I'm trying to decide, do I want to paint the back of it just like the front, or if I just want to leave the back of it kind of a stainy look and put a message, because it's probably going to be facing the back of the teacher. So I thought it might be cute to just paint it all yellow or something and then put a message on it. Be kind, or you are making a difference. So I'm not sure what I'll do on the back yet, but we can go ahead and get the front of it done. So I've just kind of drawn, whoever painted it had it straight across. I've done some zigzags to kind of make it look like it's been through the sharpener. So we'll work on that. So let me get us pulled up over here on the iPad and make sure that I can see comments. It looked like it's been through the sharpener. Okay, and we don't want my voice on here. And make sure that I can see comments. There we go. All right, so say hello when you come on so I'll know that everything's working. But that's what we're going to be working on today. Is we're just going to do a simple pencil, and I haven't decided if I'm just going to leave it yellow like a pencil. I may put polka dots on it. I may use a Dippin' Dotty on it. I'm just not sure yet. This is kind of a, let's just figure it out as we go. And I'm getting better and better at that, I guess you could say, using the imagination as I go. Or I'm getting lazier and lazier and don't plan enough ahead. So I don't know, whichever way you want to take it. All right, let's get some light on the subject here and we will get started. I don't need to base coat because it's already base coated. Hi, Miss Peggy. Hello. Good to see you on here. So anyway, it's already got some base coating on it, so we don't have to do that. So I'm going to start with, I believe I'm going to go ahead and do the yellow first. So I'm just going to use primary yellow. It's probably for school. So that's what I'm going to use to do the base coating with. Okay, so many of you, hi Renee, hello. Many of you saw the bidding box that we did. And that was kind of an unplanned thing just at the last minute because I was cleaning out a bunch of stuff. So I just gave everybody 24 hours or so to bid on that box of goodies. And man, was it full of goodies. It was so full of goodies that I ended up having to put it into two big boxes, or a big box and a smaller box to ship it. So congratulations to Teresa Knott for winning that. She is the one that won that great package, and she got a bargain because there was over $200 worth of items in there. I'm grabbing my brush over here. See which one I want to do this with. And I mailed that out yesterday. Again, it was in two different packages. because I ended up putting some extra items in there. So she's got her a good bargain. And I hope she's happy with it when she gets it. So she's got a lot of work ahead of her because there were a lot of things in there for her to work on and be creative with. Okay, good. All right, now we're up on our iPad. Okay, so I'm just using primary yellow, and I'm going to start out with this. I may go to a smaller brush, but I'm going to just start out with this primary yellow. Okay, a little bit brighter than what's on it. Now, that may have been brighter when it first started, but it looks like it's been there, that she might have had it in her stash for a while. I just noticed this looks like my bunny on my shirt is peeking out at y'all while we paint. This is another one of those shirts from Teacher's Gram, teachersgram.com. I love their shirts. The only thing is I'm so short that they're all super long on me, and I either have to get them taken up by my seamstress or roll it up or take a rubber band and make a knot with it and make it a little bit shorter, because they usually come down almost to my knees. I'm 5 foot tall, and that's it. Not 5 1/4 inch. It is 5 foot tall, and that's all she wrote. Okay, so I'm just filling in these little triangles, shapes that I drew on, to make it look like it's gone through the sharpener. And I don't care if I get a little bit out, because I'm just going to go over it with this other color. I'm going to take a couple of coats to get it covered. So congratulations, Miss Teresa. Those went out in the mail yesterday. So be watching for 2 different boxes. Snuck you a couple little baggies of some extra things in there. So I hope you enjoy it. And that is another one of my thank yous to all of you for supporting me and for always being here. Thanks so much to all of you that bid. Teresa got it for $85. There was a there was one for $80, and then last minute she jumped in and got put her $85 bid in. Okay, so I'm just going to do the edges. So what do y'all think should be put on the back of the pencil? Because I'm assuming this will probably be like a teacher gift. I'll be taking it to the craft show. I like something like, you know, you make a difference. Inspire. Okay, this will be the bottom of it, so I'm not going to worry about triangles on it. And I'm going to do the top also in the yellow. So I've been cleaning out, I didn't count how many door hanger blanks there were in that bidding box, but there were a lot. And brushes and fabric and some extra little garnishments and things that she can use. Embellishments is what the word I was trying to think of. She hasn't seen those because I didn't take a picture of those. I did put one big painted item, painted door hanger that I put in there and assigned it. It's one I did quite maybe a couple of years ago. Maybe not even that long. Okay, so it's not dry on the top, so I'm trying to be careful and not rub all that paint off that I just put on it. Okay, so let's get that dry. And we'll put another coat on. And I can't remember where Teresa lived at the moment. I've got it in there on my list where I shipped it to. I'm trying to remember, but anyway, I had to carry it in, and they were heavy. One of them weighed 11 pounds, and the other one weighed, I can't remember how much it weighed. But I think she'll be excited. It's like opening up a little store. There were so many different things in there. Mr. David is at a men's day that they're having at our congregation today. The speaker is from Tennessee, and he got in about 7:30 last night. We all met at our preacher's home and had supper with him and welcomed him. We had the best time. Okay, let's get another coat put on. Again, this is primary yellow. And since it already had a base coat of a yellow, it's going on pretty good. But we had barbecue last night and some wonderful homemade baked beans. And cheese dip and chips, cantaloupe, and 2 different kinds of cakes. And oh my goodness, it was so good. Mr. Pam and I, he is off on one of his days off are Thursdays. He works every Saturday, but this week he took off for this men's day. But so we've started making our Thursdays our Saturday. So we call it our Thursday Saturday since he's off on that day. And I try not to do any work on that day, so we can just get out and do something. So this Thursday, we worked in the yard. We went and got flowers. I planted flowers. I worked in the flower beds all day Thursday. I got sunburn. The back of my neck is red, so he's been calling me his little redneck. It was really sore yesterday, but today it's not quite as bad. Okay, I'm probably going to put still a little bit, just a little bit splotchy, so I'm probably going to put one more coat on it after we dry this. And that coat should go on really faster. Creativity on the back. Oh, that's a good one. Hi, Vicki. Hi, Francis. Hello, Miss Brenda. Thanks, everybody, for hopping on. It's just a little project, but one that I have to get done. So I thought, well, I may as well get it done with y'all. Now, I will tell you what I have been working on some yesterday and this morning is the project for the spring workshop. I'm really, really anxious to see your reactions to the spring workshop project. You're either going to go, oh, that is going to be so much fun, or you're going to go, ooh, that's a lot of detail. That's challenging. That's outside of my comfort zone. I don't know that I can do that. But yes, you can. You can do it. The ladies that all paid and signed up for the Hats Off to Creativity workshop, where we're going to be painting hats, that's coming up next month on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. Everybody's paid, and that one's closed out. But they are going to get a sneak peek of the project today. And they had to take an oath that they would not share it with anybody until after I, because I want to announce it to you guys. Because once I announce it, you guys start sending me emails going, sign me up, and I haven't even finished the process for everybody to sign up yet. So kind of holding off on that a little bit, but they do get the first sneak preview of it today. I will be emailing that out to them after this live. So I know they're excited about it. I told them in the beginning that they would get VIP first look at it, and I've had so much fun. It's taken me forever to paint it because I haven't been able to sit down and paint it. So I've just been doing it in little bits and pieces. But it has been so much fun, and I'm doing it a little differently than the actual pattern. I'm changing the colors up a little bit. But I will also announce who the actual designer is. I got it from one of her books, and I did contact, she's no longer with us, but I did contact some people that took over her company to make sure it was okay that I used a pattern for teaching in this way. And they said, yes, just trace it. So I did. I traced the pattern on paper, and so that will be in the kit. So anyway, we'll talk more about that. But I just wanted to let you know, if you want to mark the date down for the spring workshop, that's going to be May the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. So I've got to get past the hat workshop this next month first. So the spring workshop is May the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. So after I let the ladies see it, I will probably next week start announcing it, because I want time to order everything and to be able to get it to you. Okay, one more coat. And I think we'll be good on that. And that'll kind of finish up my yellow paint that I've got out. We're going to do some shading on it too. I'm sorry, I've got it so far back here, y'all probably can't even see what I'm doing. So that spring workshop will be $40. And again, it will be May the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. So the first 2 days, that's a Thursday and Friday, we'll do it from 6 to 8 p.m. And then on that Saturday, we'll start it at noon and finish up. It's got a lot of detail in it, but when you do it just step by step, break it down that way, it's very doable. And I think we need to challenge ourselves sometimes. up in these little nooks and crannies. Another little saying we could put on the back is the future is in your hands. I was just sitting here trying to think of different things. So May will be that spring workshop, and then the next thing will be our next Dippin' Dottie sale, which is June the 26th. That's on a Friday, and that will be at 10 a.m. So please mark your calendars for that, because I've had so many send me messages. I missed the Dippin' Dottie sale. How did I miss it? So I'm giving you way advance notice on that one. June the 26th. That's on a Friday at 10 a.m. That will be our new fall set, and you're gonna like it. Very different from the last fall set was 3 different leaves. This one is very, very different. It has nothing to do with leaves. Let me dry that, because I'm just wiping off that paint. And if you like Halloween, you're going to love the new Dottie set. And then we'll have the new Christmas set. I've already got it designed and in the hands of Mr. Jeff. And my paint was drying out, so I added just a little bit of water to get it to move better. And then once we get some shading in there too, that'll kind of help it clean up. Okay, but already just with that color looks a lot fresher. And I do like the jagged, looking like it's been through the pencil sharpener versus the straight line. And it looks cute either way. But I think that gives it just a little more movement and dimension. It has been pretty cool here in North Texas. It's been in the 50s. The high today, I think, is only supposed to be 60. And then it's supposed tomorrow to get back up into the 80s. We got into the 90s last week. All right, let's do this top. And it was like summertime. But I'm loving the longer days. Oops. Okay, so I don't know what color I'm going to do the back of this yet. I may just go over it and do it yellow. I may do it in black. Just not sure. All right, a little more. So next weekend is Easter weekend, correct? All right, let's get that good and dry. These other colors should not take quite as much coverage. Okay, and I'm going to take some Apple Barrel Sunkissed Peach just to kind of do a base coat on this eraser. And that will be our pencil color. And I'm going to switch to a smaller angle. This is a Royal Inline Nickel 6mm. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and let this be drying down here on the pencil part. And then we'll get some shading done on it, on all the sections. Last time I painted with you, or maybe it was the time before that, I told you our hot water heater was going out because the drip pan was full of water. That's been 3 weeks ago, going on 4. We have a home warranty plan that we kept when we bought the house. Well, guess what? We still have a broken hot water heater. We've got hot water, but it could burst at any time. And we have been round and round and round with them. They keep giving us the runaround. And what they're trying to do is get us to cave in and just go buy one ourselves. But we've been paying this policy for 2 years. And I don't want to pay, ourselves. Let's see if there's a different color that I like better. That one's even lighter. Rose. Okay, I think I'm going to switch to, this is Indiana Rose, and it's a Delta Ceramcoat. This one's a little bit light. I might wait, kind of see how it does. I don't know. Let's just go over it and see what we get. If it'll, yeah, it's coming out. It may be a little bit too pink. I think I'm just going to mix some in with it. Let's see what I get. Let me go right back to that other color because that's pretty pink. Yeah, too pink. Stick with what we've got. Just stick with what works. The pencil is 12 inches. Hi, Lynn. Imagination's another good one. Yes. You are enough. That's a great one. Thanks for all the good ideas. Put aloe gel on sunburn. Yes, I've been putting that aloe gel on it. Yes. And it's been great. It hasn't been really sore just that first day because I really didn't realize I'd gotten sunburn. Hi, Francis. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Miss Charlie. I did get the in-person paint party nailed down for Mrs. Claus, but way too early to start giving details on that. I got too many other things going on right now. But she's cute, and she's in my closet. I've just got to get the sample and painted. Okay, that was it. We might shade with that Indiana rose. So if you're just hopping on, I was just going over the dates of all the upcoming, well, most of the upcoming events that will be taking place soon. Hats off to Creativity. That one's already closed out, and everybody's paid, and their kits are on the way. I just mailed the last bit of them last week. Some have already received them. If you haven't gotten yours, it is on the way. You should get it any day if you have not already. Okay, so that's raw wood. It hasn't had any paint on it at all, so it might take a couple of extra coats on it. I really don't mind if some of the grain shows through because it's supposed to be the wood. And this is going to be black right here, but I'm going to go ahead and put a base down just so it'll be soaking into that wood. So the dates, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked there. The one that's closed out is April the 16th, 17th, and 18th, and I've been sending them emails. So they know, I've already sent them their instructions, paint colors, and they don't know it until, they didn't know it until this video, that today's the day they get a sneak peek of the spring project. And I will say, it's probably one of the most detailed ones I've ever offered online. Now, we do get a little detailed sometimes in some of them that we do live, an in-person paint party, because I'm right there and can help with it. But I think you're gonna love it. Forgot to make my little triangles there. I decided to go ahead and do that. Since it's at the, that one's on the bottom and it's really not going to matter, but I will know it's there. Now this one's on the top, so it does need to. So we're just going to come right down there and make a little triangle to look like it's been sharpened. And then we'll do some shading on it. Okay, see how some of that grain is showing through? But I don't mind because, again, it's supposed to be wood. Okay, so let's let that dry while we put a little base coat on this eraser part that has not had any paint on it. And I'm not real worried about getting something on the back because I'll paint over it. I haven't decided what color yet, but I'll be painting over it, so I'm not being super careful with it. I got, I would say, a little more than half of my flowers out last Thursday, or this past Thursday. I got my two big wash tubs that I have on the sewing machine bases outside. I got most of the flowers in those. And then I have under my front tree, we have a round flower bed with the tree in the middle. So I got all of those out. And we haven't had any sunshine since. So I'm hoping they're going to do okay. And then I worked on the flower beds right in front of the house. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and go over this color pink because our pink's going to be a little bit different. So I'll just put a little bit of a base coat on it. And I'm splattering paint everywhere with this. Not being very careful. One good thing though, with this shirt, if I splatter stuff on it, you probably won't be able to tell it because it's got so many splatters on it. So I guess we'll be okay with that. Okay, so I'm going to wash that color out. And I think I need one more coat of it on here just to kind of clean it up a little bit. And we'll dry it. And put our eraser color on and our black. I try to do black toward, anytime I'm using black, towards the end, so it doesn't get my water so dirty. Oh, Angela got her hat box yesterday. Yay! Did you like your little surprise that was in it? I put a little extra surprise in everybody's box. Hi, Roxana. Hello, friend. Miss Roxana has a wonderful business and does so many cute little things. Roxana, drop your business name in the comments, all of you. If you have a business page or business that you craft with, go ahead. I do not mind when I'm live, you doing that. And everybody go give them a follow. It's so many cute things. Roxana's girls help her with her business, and oh, they've always got some adorable things. Okay, so for the eraser, we're going to do Wild Berry, and then I think I'm going to shade it with Razzleberry. Let's just do this. I don't know why I'm being so messy today. So y'all saw the pictures of Jack and Ellie. They are both doing great. Little Miss Ellie has her first tooth. She just got it last week. And the other one is almost through. It may already be through since I was there Tuesday. Anyway, back to that warranty insurance that is stringing us along, hoping that we'll pay for it out of pocket. David let them know yesterday that he turned them into the Attorney General, State Attorney General's office and Better Business Bureau. He filed a complaint with them. And we don't typically do that, but this has just been ridiculous. Okay, so there's the color that we're working on. So it's actually been over 3 weeks now. By a couple of days. And every time you call them, it's something different. And the plumber, he's ready. He keeps calling, going, what's the holdup? Well, they keep telling us that their supplier won't reply to them. And David said, well, then you need to get a new supplier. And he said, I can go get one right now. My plumber said he could go out here to Lowe's or Home Depot. They've got them in stock. And we can have it here. Well, no, that's not the way our system works. And David said, well, ma'am, your system's broken. Your system is not working. And he said, it's unacceptable. Our hot water heater could burst at any minute because it's, really leaking water. And if it does, it's going to go into our bedroom wall. It's out in the garage, but it's right up against our bedroom wall. And she said, well, give us till Monday. Every time we talk to him, we'll give us till this day. We'll give us till this day. So he finally told him yesterday, if we don't have something by Monday, confirming when they're going to be here, if it's the same old runaround, he's getting a lawyer and going to file a small claims suit against them. And he told her, he said, your system is designed to make people give up and just go do it out of their pocket. And he said, that's not right. And what they do, the first time you use them, like when we bought this house, that we kept the warranty, and the air conditioner, something went out in the air conditioner. And I mean, they were here within hours, had the part, had it fixed, and we were up and running. Just the best thing ever. Well, they do that so that you will renew the policy. And then from then on, it's an act of Congress just to get them to even answer your calls. So I do not, and it's just not worth it. I do not recommend it. I don't recommend renewing it. Now, keeping it or taking it if there's one with the house that you're purchasing, keep it until you use it one time and then don't renew. And we talked to several people since this has happened. They said, oh yeah, we went through the same thing. I mean, several people. Yep, it's nothing but a racket. Well, they should not be allowed to do that. It's what your premiums, I mean, they don't have any problem taking your money. Might have to go a little bit, I don't know, we'll see. A little bit darker with the shading color. We'll see. All right, let's get that dry. And we'll put our black on. Actually, let's wait. We'll hold off on the black. Yours, Angela said hers dropped us after a tornado dropped a tree on her house. Of course. Roxana said, I hate dealing with insurance. Sometimes you have to get a lawyer. We will be getting a lawyer Monday. Yes, Charlie, I agree with David too. And David never gets upset, ever. And he was very kind with them, but he was very stern. Oh, your girls are now on their own. They are doing their life and no longer have a craft business for them. Oh, okay. I did not know that. So for the last year, it's been me working my crafty business. Well, girl, you've been putting out some pretty things. I've been watching them. Okay, that's hot, and I see that I need a little more now that we dried it on this eraser. Yeah, I lost my help, a lot of my help when Mr. Pam went back to work. But he's really enjoying his job. Okay, let's try one more time there. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll shade the yellow first. And I'm going to use Deep Ochre. I think that'll give us enough of a shade. Erica Wallace would be so proud of me. I'm reusing a palette here. Typically, for every project, I get a new plate. I just like to start out clean. But I'm trying to be a little more thrifty. So are any of you curious as to what the spring project is going to be? What are your guesses? Knowing what I paint, the way I paint, what are your guesses on what it might be? Okay, so I'm using an angle brush. So you can see the difference. Just getting that brush a little bit wet, dipping it back in the water, dabbing it on my paper towel. It'll give it just enough shadow. To set it apart from this color. Okay, now I'm going to remember that we did some here on the end. So, loading my paint again, just on that very tip. Back in the water. Dipping it on my paper towel. Now that's a little bit different way than I typically do it. Usually I just get the area wet that I'm going to be painting and put the paint on it that way. So several different ways that you can shade. Okay, let's do this one on this side. Oops, had the wrong end up here. Have the bristles pointing the wrong way. Okay, now I'm going to go back over some of these that have dried and make them just a little bit darker. Okay, there we go. Now let's go under the eraser. Okay, so I just got it a little bit wet there. And once it dries, I'm going to go back over it and get a little bit darker. You could also use like milk chocolate if you want it to be darker. Now I know Erica Wallace, she's really good at mixing like whatever your base color is with a little bit of a darker color, or if she's highlighting, she'll use a little bit lighter color to mix them. I typically just hold the paints up next to each other that are in the same color wheel and see, okay, this is going to be darker. I think it's going to be just fine to do that eraser with. So I just start pulling some and hold them up next to each other to see what I think is going to work. Like this one, I could use the darker brown to shade. So I just hold them side by side. This yellow is the base coat, and I just held that deep ochre up to it. And then once you do that and you start using them, you just kind of remember, okay, this is good with this color. This one's good with that one. You don't even think about it. You just know what you like and what you've used before. I will say it's much easier without these lights and trying to hold it where the camera can see it. Okay, now I'm going to dry that and I'm going to make it a little bit darker. That's what we've got so far, but I'm going to come out a little bit more with it. Dip in the water a little. So I'm going to walk it down, and that means I'm not going to start right back up here at the top exactly where I started. I'm going to bring it down about halfway. And just blend it out. And see how much darker it is now? So that's called walking it out. Just means you're coming down a little bit further than from where you started. Just about in the center. And that'll make it a little bit wider. And seem a little bit darker. Janelle, that was just asking that question, was here last year for my paint party here at my house. And they did tissue boxes, and they did such a great job on them. They all turned out so cute. Okay, so I know that I have shaded underneath the yellow side, but I'm going to do the wood side also, and I'm going to use, let's see if I had some milk chocolate out here. Burnt umber. Let's see, I thought I'd gotten some out here. Honey brown. Hold, please. I had my milk chocolate using it on something, and I don't remember where I put it. Okay, well, we'll just go with I don't want the burnt sienna. That's too dark. Espresso may work. All right, bear with me a minute. I thought I'd gotten it all out. Here it is. Okay, we're going to go with milk chocolate on this pencil wood part. I've got paints out over here for the spring project that I've been working on. And then I've got paints for this pencil. So I've got two projects laying out here. And I had to remember at the last minute to go put the spring project. I had it laying over here to the side. And I thought, oops, I might accidentally let them see that. Okay, so I'm going to get it just a little bit wet. And we're going to do it this way. So I've got that milk chocolate. And I'm going to do all of one side, and then I'll go back and do the other. That way I'm not wiping off what I just put on. Okay, and oops, got to remember this one. Okay, so I've done all of this side that points to the left. This one, and this one. I skipped these to let that dry just a minute, and then we'll go back and do those so that you're not wiping off all your hard work. Janelle said she just looked on DecoArt's site, and they have a shading highlighting chart. Here it is if anyone wants it. Oh, great, Janelle. Thank you. Flowers with boots or watering can. Nope. Basket of flowers. Nope. I do flowers a lot. I will say there are some flowers in it, but they're not your typical flower that you would think of. And I've only painted it one time. This is my second time painting the sample. So by the time I finish the sample and then paint it with you, I will have painted it 3 times. First time I painted it on a children's bench, I think. Okay, so our side. So Janelle, I can't remember all the names. Janelle, did you sign up for the Hats Off to Creativity workshop? I can't remember without looking at my list who all's in it. There were several. There's my mailman. Okay, and we'll go under this black too. We're going to fill that black in here in just a minute. Let's go ahead and see if we can get away with going ahead and shading it. Okay. And then we can even do, let's see what this looks like. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to make some little lines here. See if I like it. Yeah, I think that's all right. Okay, so we've got that part done. Let's do next the eraser. And I may want to go a little bit darker. Let's see if I've got, I think I am going to go a little bit darker. Let's go with this Napa Red. I think I'm going to like it better. Here's what I first thought. This one with this one. But now that I've got it on here, I think I want something a little bit darker. So I just kind of play around with it until I get what I want. Somebody's mowing outside. We're supposed to get a lot of rain next weekend, so everybody's trying to get the yards mowed. Okay, definitely like that better. That was Wild Berry and Napa Red. Okay, I'm going to walk it out just a little bit. So I'm going to start kind of in the center where I was. See, that's pretty. Then we'll do some white highlight lines and everything on them too. That'll kind of bring it out. Okay, see how that kind of breaks there? Kind of like Morse code, I guess you would say, or little dash lines. I just didn't have enough water in my brush. When you are shading or highlighting, that is called floating. And it's the water, and you don't want too much, but it's the water that makes it float across the paint. Okay, so we've got it there. I want to go across just the front of it with some of that deep ochre. It has been so incredibly windy here the last few days. Poor birds are having to just hang on for dear life when they're on the feeders. Okay, so I'm just shading the front of the pencil, the yellow. And I'm just putting a little water. And reloading it with that deep ochre. These would make great little teacher gifts, end of the year gifts, or beginning of the year, or Christmas gifts. It will be cute to put the teacher's name on here, but this is not a special order, so I don't have a teacher's name that needs to go on it. But we're talking about putting a saying on the back to the teacher, because she'll probably, if she has it on her desk, she'll be the one that sees that. Just something encouraging that the teacher will see every day. And we all know teachers need encouragement more than ever these days. They deal with a lot. We have a ladies' Bible class on Tuesdays at our congregation, just for the ladies. And it is The Shadow of the Cross is the book that we're doing right now. And talking about what all Jesus endured getting to the cross. I mean, the torture and everything that he went through getting to the cross. And then the crucifixion itself is just unbelievable when you really start digging deep into it and what all he went through, the torture. Some of it I had not even thought of. You know, just prior to the crucifixion itself. Anyway, it's been an amazing study, and it sure makes me stop and think and appreciate all over again what Jesus did for me, for us. Okay, so now I'm putting out a little bit of black. Oh, look how that cleaned it up, just getting that black cleaned up. Okay, now let's go around on the other side, two sides. They're a little bit rougher. So you have to work to kind of get it down into that wood grain. And I just bumped my hand and went down a little further than I wanted to, so I'll go back over that in a minute. You think black just covers in one coat, but that's not always the case. So I think it would be nice to make about a dozen of these to take to the craft show, but I've got a closet full of aprons and denim jackets that I need to get painted. Fix this one right here where I bumped it. Okay, good enough there. And we'll go under it with that color too, with that milk chocolate. Okay, but let's dry that black before I get it all over you. Hi, Miss Judy. Hi, Marie. Well, Rissa, it's just from a lot of practice. Vicki, they are, let me get this dry right quick and I'll show you. If you're a crafter, a painter, you could put paintbrushes in it. If you're a school teacher, you could put pencils and pens in it. Whatever you wanted to, whatever would fit in there. But it's actually, I think, meant to be like a pencil pen holder. But it would make a cute little paintbrush holder. And you could make the holes different sizes. You could even probably get two in that one. But I thought it would be cute to, instead of a pencil for us painters, to make a big paintbrush and let the handle and then the flat part of the paintbrush have holes in it where you could put paintbrushes in it. So you'd have to sit down and kind of design that. But I think that would be super easy to do. And just, you know, just draw it out. Let's see. I've got a piece of paper here. My grocery list. Eggs, butter, deodorant. I don't think you need to see my grocery list. But anyway, if we were going to do a paintbrush, we could do like a big paintbrush. Let me get a marker. I think you see it better that way. And just do like a broad paintbrush. And then make your handle long. And you could make it longer than it would normally be. You could either just square it off or round it down to give it some interest. And then paint it to look like a paintbrush. You could have a couple of holes up here and then all through the handle. Just like this one, make holes in the top of it. So no, that's just a rough little drawing. Of course, you're gonna want to do it differently than what I did. You don't want it just squared off like that. You would have some paintbrush hairs in it, you know, something like that. You could make it with some paint it that way with some paint drips on it. But I think that would be really cute little paintbrush holder. And I think they would sell, you could just do them in all kinds of colors. You might make your bristles a little longer, but I think that would be really cute. This one was already painted and cut when I got it from Miss Connie. And so I thought I would just finish it out. Okay, let's take some of that milk chocolate and go under the black on the sides. Okay, and let's do the other side. Now that that black is drying, I can see some of the wood through it. So I need to put a little more black on the tip there. Okay, so we've got that done. So I'm putting some more black. And you need to watch black when you're using it. You think, oh, it's black, it's going to cover anything. Not always. Not always. Could do on the back a pretty color, not like the pencil, but just do a solid I don't know, something like Bahama blue on the very back to where we're going to put the words. We could do a different color like that. Or a little lighter. What do we have that's lighter than that? Whispering turquoise. That's a little bit lighter. That would be pretty. So we don't have to make it look like a pencil on the back. That's going to be a pretty side that the teacher would see. Okay, now we need to do some highlighting, and then my question is, on this side, do we want to do some little flowers in different colors? Do we want to do some polka dots, or leave it like it is? So be thinking. Give me some ideas. Thank you, Rissa. Thank you so much. All right, let's get some white. And I'm going to grab, since this is so small, I'm going to grab my small 10-0 liner. Itty bitty. And I love it. Okay, and I'm just going to make a highlight line at the top here. And we can make one on the sides here. I can also take a little makeup, eye makeup brush, Wet n Wild from Dollar Tree. Yes, Dollar Tree. Load it up with some of that white. So I've got it worked down in there, and now I'm going to get it, most of it off on this paper towel. And let's kind of give it a little bit of a highlight down the center. Hard to see on camera, but there is a highlight there. A little one there. Oh, Vicky's going detailed. A beehive and flowers. We could do that. Let's see where my little... Okay, my other thought is some small and large Dippin' Dotty flowers. Keeping it simple, because remember, when you're doing this to resell, and I just saw something I needed to do here on the sides, the more detail that you put into it, the more you're going to need to charge. And for a piece like this, I wouldn't want to charge like $20. So you don't want to over detail something. Okay, so I put those little wood marks on the edges too. Let's see how big our bee would be on this. Okay, so we could get 2 bees on it and a beehive, and somewhere either on the beehive or up above it, we could do, because the kids would see this, and do Be Kind. All right, let's... Don't know if my chalk pencil's going to show up here. So we'll just do kind of like the top of a beehive. First, I need to figure out the center. So it's not quite 12. So about right there is going to be the center. Okay, so there will be the top. And we'll come out about right there with that one. Okay, and we'll make the door about right there, so it looks about half. Which means we need to go a little bit darker. We'll use that deep ochre for the beehive. Okay, Vicki likes Be Kind. Okay. Okay, and I'm just going to paint over this door because I'll just paint it. I mean, it'll be easy to paint over it. Good thing about with the chalk is once you get this painted, before you seal it, if you have any chalk still showing, you just brush it right off. All right, Vicki, no pressure here. This is all a little bit freehanded because I wasn't thinking about putting a bee on it, but that's real. I was thinking about the words "be kind," but I didn't think about putting an actual bee on it, or beehive. The paint's a little bit getting dried out, so I'm adding a little bit of water to it to help it spread better. Right now it kind of looks like a funny cloud. Oops. A little bit too deep there. Oh well, we'll just make it a little bigger. I guess the kiddos are all getting anxious. It's getting close to winding up the school year. I know the teachers are probably getting excited. Okay, let's put the door back in it. Okay, so I'm going to take here's my center mark. And I'm going to switch to a little brown, well it is brown, but round brush. And that'll be the top of the opening. Okay, so that'll be our door, and I'll put a little highlight in it to make it look a little 3D. Okay, so let's do that dark chocolate I think that will give us enough separation. To make the sections on the beehive. Okay, so let's start with the top one. Paint's getting a little dry. Okay, so there's the top one. I'll kind of go into the door here with this one. Okay, so there's section 2. And then we'll go on the edges. Okay, now let's go the top and then the edges. So I'm just getting it a little wet. Notice I'm kind of twisting it as I go around. And I want to connect the lines across with the end sections. Okay, so you can tell on this side where I've shaded on the outside, this side I have not yet. Okay, I'm going to pat that because I got a little too much water. Okay, so there's our little beehive. I can even go back in and put maybe a little greenery or some flowers or some things around it. But let's do, get a different tray here. Let's use our Bumblebee Dippin' Dotty. I'm going to get it a little bit wet. And then dab it off, but I'm going to need some black. not going to put a lot. And instead of dipping the Dippin' Dotty in it, I am going to, oops, let me get a flat brush. I'm going to take just a flat brush, get it on both sides because I don't want this real deep with paint, and I'm just going to pat it on. And just get our outline. And we'll just stamp it and use that kind of as a guide. Ooh, I have way too much water in that. Let me show you right quick. I didn't dry it out enough. It's kind of bleeding, but I'm going to leave it, and then I'm going to go back in and fix it. So I'm getting that water out of there. Too much water, but easy fix. Okay, so I'm doing the same thing. Just patting some of that paint on there. And when you do it this way, you could even pat different colors of paint on it. Like if it were a butterfly and you wanted different colors, you could pat like purple there, pink there. Okay, let's do this one maybe up here. Didn't get enough on that one. This has got a lot of wood grain in it. Okay, I'm going to get that wet on the ends. And remember, we used this on the apron. So I'm getting that wet. I'm not going to drop it down in the water, but I'm getting it very wet and then just going to set it on the napkin, and then I'll go clean it out good in a minute. But I've got my line that I can do here. So if you run into that and it doesn't go on, see this one I didn't have quite enough paint on it, and this has got some really rough ridges. Just go around and finish filling it in. It's even kind of hard with the pencil on this. It's really rough. Okay, and then we'll have our little antennas there. Okay, I want to get this one really dry because I'm going to fill it in. I'm going to take that little liner, not the liner, the little round brush. There it is. Okay, so I'm just going to fill it in. I was really surprised how well these stamps worked on that fabric. I wasn't sure what we would get. But since you've got your outline here, it's so easy to fill in. And we'll make this one yellow. So I'm just going to line it. And that one will be black. Now, years ago, if that would have happened, I would have just freaked out. Like, no, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? But I've learned that it's all fixable. It's paint. You can paint over it. So I don't let it stress me out anymore. And we'll come back and dot that. Okay, we'll do the wings like in a gray or white. I've got a little touch up on the yellow where that water bled. Okay, so let's get back into our yellow a little bit and do some touch up. Might want to go over it with that yellow with white first to cover up that black, and then go back in with yellow. So I'll probably do a wash of white or gray for the wings. Okay, right in here by his antenna. Okay, so that's how I've touched it up with that white. I'm gonna dry it and then go over it with the yellow. And you shouldn't even be able to tell it. So what I did wrong on that is I got too much water in that Dippin' Dotty when I kind of dipped it in the water, and I didn't get it out of those crevices. So water was making that paint go everywhere. Okay, and then a little bit. And then you can kind of go back over your outline if you need to with the black. But like it never happened. So let's get outline done on this one while that one's drying. And fill it in. I have a little bit smaller one of these. I don't know if it's in here or in the other room, but you might need to go down a little size if you're doing this. So the paint's kind of drying, so I'm putting just a tad bit of water on my brush. Skylar graduates this year, except, oh my goodness. Graduates, oh. Just doesn't seem possible. It is bittersweet because you want them to, you know, grow and leave the nest. That's what we raise them for. But it is so hard to let go. Okay. My baby, she left the nest. She's in California now. And I don't like it one little bit. She is loving it. I'm going to switch to my little liner on this one to do those antennas. Okay, and then I'm going to use the other end of that dotty, Dippin' Dotty, to do the dots for the antennas. And it will discolor. Once you've put paint on it, it's going to discolor some. Don't worry about that. You just don't want any dry paint on them. So I'm going to dip that back into the water so it's not sitting there with that paint drying on it. I'm just going to set it aside, and I'll take it in there with some soap and toothbrush and clean it really well. Okay, let's see what I need to clean up here. Okay, and then let's, we need to do the wings. Let me kind of clean this up a little bit. I didn't realize how ridged that really is. Oh, and by the way, the dotty flower that I had on my fingernail, it did not come off, but this past Thursday, a couple of days ago, working out in the yard, my fingernail polish underneath it, the whole layer came off and took the Dippin' Dotty with it. The Dippin' Dotty was still perfect. So that was 4 weeks that it stayed on there. And had the fingernail polish not come off, it would still be on there. I've got some on my toes right now. 2 of the flowers. Okay, I want to get this really, really good and dry. We've got to do the wings. And I will put Be Kind. So I don't know if I'm going to do 3D letters. I'll have to see if I've got some letters small enough. Or I may just paint the words Be Kind. Okay, I do want to put a little white highlight. Just a little white highlight on the top of the head. And then I've got a little bitty angle brush. It's a size 1, Keep Smiling brush. A little bitty. Let's see if that'll work. I may want to go to a round. Let's go to a round. A small round. This is a grabby 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0. So it's a little bitty. Little bitty bitty. And do some white. And I don't want it to be real thick. So I've added a little bit of water. Just a little bit of a wash. Now I am getting a little bit on that black, so I'll go back in and clean that up with my little bit liner. Just a little more water. So again, I don't mind if some of that yellow shows through. That's what I want. I want it to look kind of translucent. And then we'll do some little hash mark fly lines. You could do gray wings also. Either one, white or gray. But on this yellow, I thought the white would look better. Okay, definitely makes a difference doing the wing. And we'll do some little just some little bitty highlight lines at the top of the black stripes. So the rest of the day, I am going to work on that spring project sample after I email. Okay, all of y'all that are in the Hats Off to Creativity hat painting workshop, as soon as I get off of here, I will go email the sample to you. It's not finished, but remember your promise not to share it with anyone else. Okay, I'll let that dry and then I'll clean it up with a little bit of that black. But let's do some hash marks to make it look like they're flying. Make it go around. Make it look like it's coming out of the beehive. And I've still got to do my little highlight marks on the beehive as well, but that I'll be finishing off camera. Okay, let's make this one look. Okay. All right, did not plan on doing all that detail. I thought we were just going to be stamping, so we got a lot done in a short amount of time. Not finished, got to clean it up just a little bit and then put Be Kind up here, and then I will probably just paint it solid on the back, and not sure if I'll do anything on here or not. Y'all, my face is so sunburned. I got way more sun than I thought I did, and then I went and got a short haircut. So it will still be just about right for the summer. And so now you can really see all my sunburn. I thought I was covered up. I was under a tree most of the time, but that sun got to me. My nose is even red. But there we go. So that's what we got done today. How cute is that? That you could put pencils or pens in it. And thank you, Connie Turner, for giving this to me to see what I could do with it. And thank you, Vicki, for the suggestion of the beehive and bees. I think it looks really cute. And again, I may put something around. I don't want to get too detailed on it, but I may put something around the beehive. I don't know. We'll see if I can leave it alone. But also, again, this would be really cute. You could do it bigger. This one's 12 inches. You could do it, and let's see how wide this is. It is 2 inches wide, but you could do a 4x. And do it even larger and make it look like a paintbrush, make it look like a handle and then a paintbrush at the end and put paintbrushes and things in it. So I think that would be so cute. All right, ladies. Thank you, Renee. Thank you so much. And again, thanks y'all for bidding on that bidding box, and congratulations to Teresa for winning that. Let me give you the dates, upcoming dates right quick on some things so I don't forget. Okay, the Hats Off to Creativity. I've been emailing you guys that are in that workshop. You know that for next month. And then the spring workshop. That will be the next one that will be open. Not taking any registrations yet. I will let you know when that time is here. But that is, if you want to go ahead and mark it on your calendar, that's a secret what we're doing until I reveal it. But the ladies that are in the Hats Off to Creativity workshop will find out today what it is. And I'm anxious to see your reactions. If you're, oh, I can't wait to do that, or there's no way I can do that. Yes, you can. So the spring workshop is May the 21st 22nd and 23rd. If you want to get that marked on your calendar, that'll be a Thursday and Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then on that Saturday from noon to 2-ish, depending on how we finish up. And then the next Dippin' Dottie sale will be on June the 26th, and that's our next fall set. And it is so cute. I can't wait for y'all to see it. And that will be at 10 a.m. on June the 26th. Okay, and that spring workshop will be $40 plus tax and shipping. So that's the upcoming things. So staying busy. Thank you so much, ladies. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.